Well, I thought that I would do a garden update. This is what it looked like last week, and this is what it looks like today. And I only spent about 6 hours a day out there tilling and fertilizing. Just kidding. If there's anything I'd like to do with these videos is dispel the myth that tilling is torturous and time consuming, because nothing is further from the truth. Seriously, it took me less than 2 hours to till all these beds and about 15 minutes to sprinkle them with fertilizer. And there's no way that I could load and unload several hundred wheelbarrowfuls of stuff in 2 hours and 15 minutes. I truly wish that I had time for all that stuff, but I truly don't. As you can see, the onions look pretty much the same, and the kale has grown quite a bit. I've been transplanting that to other parts of the garden, and as soon as I finish transplanting everything that I want, I'll thin out and throw out the rest. There's really no significant changes in anything in this whole bed. There's the garlic, the onions, the asparagus. The blackberries haven't bloomed yet. The blueberries look like they were well pollinated. I was right about the broccoli and cabbage being stunted by the freeze. These puny little plants are already starting to put out florets. I don't think it's going to amount to much of anything, so I think I'm going to yank these plants out and I'm filling in with kale. It's hard to see here, but the beets are doing very well, and I did get around to thinning those out, and I replaced the peas with kale. One thing I've learned is when to cut my losses. The red potatoes are on the right, the russets are on the left, and they're still slowly emerging. And looky here, grandbaby has a lucky shamrock. The strawberries are doing well. Some of them are even starting to bloom. I'm supposed to keep the blooms off for 6 weeks. After that, I can let them bear. I'm not a strawberry expert, but one thing I've learned the hard way is that as soon as your plants start showing growth, look them over very closely for any signs of disease or insects and take care of it right away, because if you wait, before you blink twice, they'll be full of blooms and full of berries, and then you won't want to spray them with anything at that point. So what I did was, when mine started showing growth, I looked them over good and I removed any damaged leaves and I sprayed them with neem oil. And you also have to be careful with neem oil, because I have seen pictures of strawberry plants damaged by neem oil, and I've seen pictures of strawberry plants damaged with insecticidal soap. So even those things, you need to be careful with them. I don't know if neem oil will stop any disease or prevent any disease on strawberry plants. Some people on the internet claim that it will, so I thought that I would give it a shot, and so far so good. I probably ought to spray this horseradish with it too, because the bugs eat this slam up every year. This is the best it's ever going to look, believe me. It should be interesting to see how this grapevine turns out. I have the trunk stretching across the fence, up this arch, and up to the top. This one was more for ornamental value. Navajo pod, this is the Concord grape. And I told you I might accidentally get this right. It seems to be that if the Concords have to be cane pruned, then it would be okay if I hit it off at the top and then just let the canes flow from the top of the arch. What do you think? By the way, Navajo Pa 31 just did a great series of videos about pruning grapevines, so if you're interested in growing grapes, be sure to watch those. The ones on the fence I would like to get to produce, and I've tried to grow them into the 2-arm system here, and I think I did it right. And one regret I have, though, is that I didn't space out my buds well enough. What I should have done was make sure there was about 6 inches between the buds. Any that were too close, I should have knocked them off. Then after I had knocked all the buds off and spaced them out well, then I should have counted out 10 buds and snipped it at the ends. I didn't do that. Now I'm going to have to fix that next year. And Navajo Pa's right. We're all dealing with redneck grapevines. This vine is a red Caco, C-A-C-O, and I think it's okay to use this type of system with this variety of grape. However, the Concord should not be grown on a 2-arm system like this. Like I said, it needs to be grown on a singular trunk and then use the canes directly from that trunk. How do I know that? Because Navajo Pa told me, and he was absolutely right, and I never would have known it otherwise. So that's the garden, and by the way, I haven't weeded these beds yet. I'll do that another week or two. I'll drag my stirrup hoe through there, disrupt any weeds that are there or about to emerge, and after that usually the plants are large enough that they act like their own mulch, and I really am not bothered by a lot of weeds out there. So that's the garden as it is today. I hope it helps.